For a look at how we got to this point and what could come next, let's bring in former U.S. Attorney John Fishwick. John, as you know, the House Oversight Committee took the lead in the subpoena of Jeffrey Epstein's estate and in the subpoena to banks for his financial records. As we kind of take a look back at how we got here, why not the DOJ? Why do you think this is all unfolding now?
Well, the House Oversight Committee has certainly been aggressive in getting documents and making them available to the public, and that's a good thing. DOJ, unfortunately, though, said this past summer in July, they've looked at all the Epstein file. They did not see any criminal conduct that was worth investigating and moving forward. They basically said they were at a dead end. But the House Oversight Committee has aggressively kind of pursued this. I hope they will continue to pursue it and release it. But DOJ has been quiet, but basically said this summer there's no criminal case, no criminal lead that we're going to pursue.
Well, even though the president has signed a bill to release the Epstein files, it is still up to the DOJ which information is public or redacted, correct?
Correct, Dee Dee. So I think the public may be a little disappointed. There's not going to be a huge unveiling of all the Epstein file. DOJ has the power, typically, and also under this law to say, look, we've got an ongoing investigation. President Trump and Pam Bondi has asked us to investigate Democrats. And so that could be a hold on some of these documents. Also, anything that's very sensitive as relates to victims or obviously pornographic sort of information, that'll be not be produced to the public. But I do think the ongoing investigations will be something that will put a hold on these document release. I think that's unfortunate. I think the public's ready to see all this information.
And as you just mentioned, you'll remember last week Trump ordered that investigation into the Democrats you just mentioned, allegedly connected to Epstein. Do you believe, it doesn't sound like you do, but do you believe the 30-day deadline to release the files will be met? And if it is, will Americans ever get the complete files?
I think the unfortunate thing for Americans is, there have been a lot of starts and stops on releasing the Epstein files and the Epstein documents, and we obviously don't have them all. I don't think at the end of this 30-day period we're going to get them all. I expect we'll get some of them, Dee Dee, but I think a lot of it will not be produced. I think DOJ is going to say, look, we've been ordered to do an investigation, and typically what we do until that investigation is complete, we don't want to taint that investigation, so we don't release everything. So I think there'll be a partial release by DOJ, but not the complete files.
All right, we'll put a pin in that. Before I let you go, John, finally, a lot of questions, including from a judge overseeing the case of former FBI Director James Comey. The DOJ first said the indictment against Comey was never presented to the full grand jury. Now federal prosecutors are saying it was reviewed. So a lot of back and forth. What do you think is happening here, and how strong is Comey's argument that the case should be dropped?
Yeah, there's a little uncertainty about what happened in the grand jury room because they voted down one of the indictments, but when they voted down that one indictment, they did approve two of the charges. Remember, though, the ultimate catch-all safeguard for DOJ, even if the judge dismisses it, they have a 6-month safeguard that lets them refile the charges even if the judge dismisses it. So this case is going to continue to move forward. There is going to be back and forth about what happened in the grand jury, but ultimately this case is going to be move forward, but there's going to be a lot of legal action and appeals before that takes place.
All right, former U.S. Attorney John Fishwick, as always, thank you for your time and expertise tonight.
Thank you.